because to not, it's like, imagine you're a puzzle piece, and you know how puzzle pieces are kind of irregular, they have all those edges. But if you don't examine all of the edges, then your puzzle piece doesn't fit. You know, if you don't know, oh, I have to dip in here, and then where do you fit in the cosmos? Like you can't find your really sweet spot. So we have to look at all of us, right? We have to incorporate, be willing to invite it all in. And my mission is to help us not be so afraid to do that. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's beautiful to see people light up. Look, they're smiling.
Well, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You were in marketing before, but now you're doing something
Completely different.
Yeah, well, maybe not totally, but
Right.
How did you come to where you are? I mean, was there something, what made you leave marketing, or, you know?
Yeah, you know, quickly, I was still at the lottery at the time. I was sitting at my desk wondering what I was going to do next. I'd been there about 5 years, and my boss was leaving to take another position. And I was being considered to take over the lottery, but it's not political. It's not necessarily natural progression kind of thing. And I said, if I could do anything tomorrow, what would that be? Like I really didn't know. I had come out of a great consumer packaged goods experience. I had done state government with the lottery. I had worked in banking before going back to business school, so I had kind of been in a regulated industry that was deregulating. But I didn't know. And like Katrina, I had been introduced to something almost by accident that led me on this quest for more information. I started studying hands-on healing and metaphysics, and I couldn't get enough. And that's when I knew I wanted to work with people in another way. Well, from that point to 5 years later, after I followed my boss to the new place, we had a corporate crisis, three corporate crises all in 1 year. My children were like 2 and 4. You know, I was spread really thin, but I was called into something. I was feeling like I'm supposed to be doing something else. I really want to work with people. I thought I was going to open a wellness center. I was site selected. I was looking at the South Loop. I'd written a business plan, you know, and that was the premise under which I quit. And that was my husband's understanding at the time. However, do I own a wellness center today? No, I do not. And he's going, what happened to that store? That one I could relate to. He's very brick and mortar, you know, very black and white. Okay, that I can buy. This stuff? Woo-hoo, voodoo, you know, what are you doing? That he can't relate to so much. But it evolved, and today I will tell you, I completely get it. And the way it felt to me was I could feel it was like exploded, like the continents when they exploded and separated. That's the way it felt to me. Like I could feel pieces of my vision, kind of just in the, I'd like to say, the last six weeks. Have they all converged together? I get it now. I see the whole picture, and it is about the community and the elements of those pieces. I do work with individuals and with organizations in this idea of bringing the whole person into the picture. You know, whether it's I'm working with you one-on-one or whether I'm working with a team, my whole thing is to help recognize and bring the individual, that's special, back into the, yeah, I know, it's all delightful. It'll all be captured on film, and you'll see it on YouTube, and it'll, you know, it's all good. Now, if I can find it before it rings again, which I can't in my bottomless pit here, oh, look, there it goes. One more time. Okay, now it's done. Hopefully it won't ring again. But I will ask my mother to take a look at it and be sure it's not my children, although they would call you directly, I'm sure.
The second call, I'm waiting.
Yeah, you'll be the second call. I didn't turn it off, which is a sad thing. Let me do that. It's going to look so good on I'm serious, on YouTube. We're going to upload all of these, and it'll be beautiful.
Was it changed?
No. So I see the picture now, and I understand it really is. It's like a revolution. That's the way I feel. And my thing is to, there's so many, all of you, I would consider, if you found your way here tonight, your light bulb's on. And you may be struggling with how to remove that veil between the two hemispheres. You might be struggling with, how do I do this? How do I get from where I am to what I've seen? Because I trust that each one of you has seen the vision. I call it God's paradox. That we see where we want to go. Oh, that would be so cool. I would love to do that. That's letter Z, but we're way back here at A, and we get all flubbed up between A and Z. You know, the doubt, the questions, the I need to know how to. What if there were a way that people who are committed to living whole in their work and business had a community they could turn to, both electronically and online, but also for courses and for connection with each other. That's what I'm creating, so that these disparate pieces do have a central place. And then what we do is we market. It's called 360 Transformation. And then we're marketing that to traditional businesses. Let us come in. Trina's going to talk to you about ego space, you know, and how to connect your space. It's going to be fabulous. I know it. So that's a long-winded answer to your, it evolved. I had to allow it the space, but I also know now that it didn't come together before I had lived through all of those pieces, because I now have connections in places I wouldn't have had 5 years ago. I didn't have. There's a legitimacy on another, like a national level with some of the national speaking that I've done. So there's enough visibility, and I have enough connections now with people that when I finish this plan, I can actually go to them and say, this is what I'm creating. You want to be part of this. So really my summer, which is why I'm taking, unplugging Zesty Living for July and August, is to finish writing that plan so that I can pitch it to these, companies and start bringing people like you to them. They're not going to find us because they don't know how to get off the treadmill. But we can certainly take this work into their space. Can you imagine lunchtime sessions, 45-minute sessions with different, practitioners that come in to do pieces about living whole in your life? But it doesn't have to just be the holistic stuff, because this is very practical, what Katrina's talking about. We have somebody that talks about the emotion behind money. She's going to come in. She's a money manager, but she's blending these two worlds together. The topics are not exclusive to the holistic world, is what I'm saying. We're talking about demonstrating how you can apply spirit in your everyday work, everyday life. I can't wait. I'm full.
Well, I really think that as a society, that people are ready for it. I mean, it's like, it has to reach that critical mass before people just finally say, enough of this. We're done with this.
Well,
This is
saying that.
nonsense. And it's there. It's like, so.
Yeah, all you have to
On the
do
brink,
is turn the knob, the doorknob. And I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but when I go into a kind of traditional business environment, all I have to do is mention something about purpose or passion or the law of attraction, or and people are like, whoop, oh, yeah. They're just waiting. But there's this kind of persecution complex, so everybody's kind of hiding in the closet, and they're ready. People want and need something different, but they don't know how to weave it in. They don't know how to begin the conversation. And I firmly believe that you do not need permission to start this. That you can, right from where you are, begin dramatic change. Wherever you are, like even if you're in a somewhat toxic environment, you can begin to create change around you.